Hey everybody, it is Professor Hatch. I'm here to talk about the critical analysis outline, which presumably you've already seen the video I made for the prompt. I'm going to try and keep this equally short. I should share my screen. All right. Excuse me, going through puberty. All right, so this is the outline assignment. In the outline assignment, I've got four body paragraphs laid out here. And it just occurred to me I should actually share my entire screen, not just that window. Um, let's see. There we go. So this is the assignment. I've got four body paragraphs laid out here. Obviously, here's the link for the student outline template. I've already downloaded that and I have edited it to have these four body paragraphs. You don't need a conclusion, obviously. You know this at this point. For the intro, you only need a thesis statement. For the outline, right? It says all this right here. And even though your body paragraphs will, of course, have analysis after your evidence, I've gotten rid of that because you don't have to do that for the outline assignment. So I am writing this as I would choose to write it if I had to. Um, and I'm choosing for my first body paragraph to talk about an event from the novel. Body two, I'm going to talk about a real world event that event from the novel reminds me of. Um, and in my case, it'll remind me of something most likely because I'm old as hell. And in your case, you might have to do a little bit of research to find something that is similar. Um, or maybe you also are old as hell, in which case, congrats. You'll just have to rely, you can just use memory. But it's got to be recent memory. Anyway, for my third body paragraph, literary theory, which is the most appropriate theory? Which one will you be using and why? And then finally, body four, and this could be body four and body five, analysis of the events of the novel and the real world, using analyzing those events using the literary theory that you are choosing to use. So for the purposes of this video, I just chose to go with the four body paragraphs. You've already seen me do other videos. Um, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this one, but like for example, I don't know, maybe I'll do the first transition in body one. But so for the topic sentence for the event from the novel, I am literally just going with I don't know, the event from the novel that stands out most in my mind is, and I think in my prompt they say not to use any first or second person language. Ideally, it would be the most appropriate for you to use only third person academic language, but I genuinely don't give a damn. Um, I'm not going to take points off if you use first person language. If you write in the second person, I'm going to be annoyed as hell. Don't do that. Anyway, the event from the novel that stands out most in my mind is the scene where there's a garage fire and the residents of the street are unable to call fire department because they can't afford the what? I don't know. Exorbitant? Is that even exorbitant fees? I guess whatever, semicolon. Those are only fees they'd pay for a house on fire. I don't know. That's not a great sentence, but whatever. It's doing the work it needs to do. At this point, I have doubtless talked to you about shitty rough drafts, and this isn't even a rough draft. It's an outline assignment. None of this has to be good. None of it has to be beautiful. It just has to actually convey the information that you need to convey. So there's your topic sentence. What's going to follow is I'm going to give a little bit of background information about that scene. Then I'm going to give a quote from the novel that drives that point home. And obviously, for the rough draft, I'll have some analysis talking about that. Before I do anything else, I'm going to write a topic sentence for the second body paragraph. And if you've already watched the video I made for the prompt, then I'm just going to go with that example. It's not a valid example because it's like more than 20 years old, and you're not supposed to use any real world events that are older than 5 years for this essay. But I'm also not going to make you watch me research to find something more contemporary. And I'm not going to spend time doing it off camera because I'm lazy. And also because it's like 9 o'clock at night and I've been sitting at this desk for 11 hours. All right. So a real, let's see, a real world event that comes to mind when I think of the scene from the novel is whatever. This doesn't have to be eloquent. The guy who was forced to choose which of his two severed fingers he wanted to have sewn back on because health care premiums were too expensive for him to be able to afford. Again, not a great sentence, but it's doing the work it needs to be doing. Let's go back up here to the transition. The transition is going to be something along the lines of, I don't know, as grim as the events, as this event is, the real world, um, let's see, I hate that phrase. The world we live in has no shortage of, I don't know, let's see, dystopian insurance nightmares. Okay, now a transition needs to be specific in saying in addition to X, the formula as always is in addition to X also Y. So we're not specifically in this transition talking about, oh, this reminds me of the guy who lost two fingers and then he had to choose which one to have sewn back on. But what it is doing is specifically mentioning insurance nightmare or nightmares, and then down below in the topic sentence immediately below it, we have the phrase healthcare premiums, and this is an insurance specific term. So this tells us that this transition is specific enough to lead into the idea that we're going to be talking about with this second paragraph. Um, for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to choose to look at this through the lens of new historicism. So let's see. The literary theory, new historicism seems historicism. Oh, did I leave out the I? Looks like I left out the I. To be the most appropriate lens through which we can, I hate, no, no, we, through which to examine both the fictional event and the real world event. All right, so there's my topic sentence for that third paragraph. And then in this paragraph, I'll be talking about why. And then I'm not even going to bother giving examples for analyzing using this theory because that's honestly something you should be able to do. You've already had so many discussion boards at this point. And we've talked about this in class. I'm positive, even though it's August 8th, I'm positive we will have discussed this in class before it's time for you to begin work on this outline. So I am going to leave it at this, I think. Yeah. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to undo that change that we recommended because it was stupid. That is a perfect example of a useful kind of AI still making a mistake. Anyway, I'm going to save this. I will upload this example. This is not obviously this is not a very thorough example, but again, this is the third essay from this semester. You will be more than familiar with the whole procedure of writing an essay from outline to finished draft at this point. So I don't need to go on too long. I'm going to stop my screen share. This will be on the assignment page as well this video, and you'll be able to look at all that and look at this video. And if you have questions, of course, while working on the outline, 24/7, text me on Remind. I will get back to you as soon as possible. If you text me at 3 a.m., that's totally fine. And if I have insomnia, I'll respond right away. And if I don't, I'll respond as soon as I wake up. All right. Should anything else be said? No?